All right, welcome everyone. It's another crazy Tuesday with Shall We Stamp. This is Dawn Duval coming to you. Well, nope, I'm not live. It's recorded. I'm in Ireland, coming to you from Fort Myers, Florida. And tonight we are going to be creating two cards using one of our new stamp sets. That is in the catalog, the Bottles of Happiness. But in the meantime, as I mentioned last week, I want to make sure that you are aware that if you place any $50 order with me this month, then you will receive a tutorial bundle of 36 projects that's created by myself and obviously 35 other demonstrators. And so this would be free if you place an order with $50 and you use the monthly host code that is right here, and that is JPY6M6BJ. All right, so keep that in mind. And then also I wanted to go over again about our joining special for the month of May. I just want to make sure that I'm doing everything I can to make sure that you're getting all of the information, as I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't provide this information to you so that you can make a sound decision. So if you join Stampin' Up and my Crafty Girls team, you can join for $99 plus sales tax, so whatever that would be per your state. So here in Florida, my total would run about $105. The starter kit you purchase for $99, you get to choose $125 in product. It comes with a paper pumpkin kit. It also comes with business supplies and catalogs, and I always suggest to everyone to take those catalogs and put your name and address label on it with a phone number and hand those out to your friends and family or people that you may not know in case they would like to order something. Then you might get some business from that as well. So in addition to that, during this month, Stampin' Up! Is going to give you what they're calling an starter kit. And what that means is it's going to include all 5 Stampin' pads, or ink pads, for the new 22-24 collection. You're going to also receive a package of the Designer Series paper, which is 48 sheets. You're going to also receive an assortment of cardstock of all 5 colors. In addition to that, then you're going to receive some grid paper that has the various colors on it throughout, and that will help to keep your workspace clean. So again, for $99 plus sales tax, you're actually getting about $191.50 in product, not counting your business supplies. Now, as I mentioned before, you don't have to do this as a business if you choose not to. You don't have to do classes. You don't have to do videos. What you can do is once you join, and after you pay your $99 and get your starter kit, for every order after that, then you would receive a 20% discount. Now, by joining in the month of May, that will run through the end of September. Now, what happens if you don't meet the minimum, which there is a minimum every quarter? And if you'd like more information on that, reach out to me and I'll share that with you as well. But if you don't, then what's the worst that happens at the end of September? You go back to paying full price when you buy your products. So think about that. You're getting $191 of products for $99 plus shipping. I'm sorry, we're paying the shipping plus sales tax. And you're getting all the new in colors, plus you choose $125 of your own product. So think about this. It's a great opportunity to take advantage of this offer. I'd love to have you join my team of Crafty Girls, and I will have a link below. If you have questions or need an additional information, then reach out to me by email, voicemail, text message, messenger, whatever it takes for you to get a hold of me. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you have. Okay, so with that being said, we're now moving on to what we're going to do this evening. And we are going to work with the Bottled Happiness stamp set, and it comes with this cute punch. So this is a 13 photopolymer stamp set, and this is a 2-step process here. This as well will go on top of your bottle. This I think is a label, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't quite used that yet. And then you've got several sentiments throughout. Now again, like I mentioned on the last week's video, Stampin' Up! Is putting the pictures of the items on the back of your stamp pad, stamp case, so that you can know which ones are missing, so that you make sure you don't leave anything behind. Okay, so this can be found on page 16 of our new catalog. And what this, whoops, hang on a minute, I'm stuck to the paper. I got dimensionals on the back of my book. What that means is if you want to purchase this as a bundle and receive a 10% discount, then it's only going to cost you $37.75. That's a pretty good deal if you ask me. You're going to get 13 stamps plus this punch for $37.75. Now, you don't have to buy the punch. You can get the stamp set for $23, but why not take advantage of that discount of 10%? Now, one thing I want to also say, that as a demonstrator, so not only do you get your 20% discount, but you're also, when you purchase bundles, you get these discounts as well. So technically, if you were to buy this one, then you would really get a 30% discount, because you're going to get 20 as a demonstrator and then 10% because that's what the catalog is offering. So just keep that in mind. So this gives you, the catalog is a great resource. If you run out of ideas and you're trying to think of how you're going to make something, make sure you look at this, because these are some great ideas. Now, I wish I would have copied this one. I didn't, but we may do that later on. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to show you what we're going to be working on. They're going to be two completely different cards. Now, the first one that we're going to work with, we're actually not even using the punch, but the first one we're going to do a slimline card. Now, this is a basic. I'm going to step this up because we're going to add another layer underneath this. So we are looking at a slimline card, and this is 8 1/4 by 3 1/2, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just measure that to make sure. So we are at, I'm sorry, it's 3 3/4 wide, and it should be 8 1/4. Let's verify that. Yes, your card base itself is 8 1/4, and then it's 7 1/2. So you fold this in half, and that brings it to 3 and 7 1/2. We bring it to 3 3/4. Okay, so it's 7 1/2 this way, 8 1/4 this way, and then you're going to score it in half, which is 3 3/4. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Clear as mud, right? All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Now, the one I'm going to do, I'm going to add a piece underneath this. So we're going to be working with our, I'm going to put this right here. We're going to work with our sweet sorbet. And as you see, I've got my 8 1/4 by 7 1/2. And I'm going to come in here and score this. This is going to be my 7, let me just make sure so we don't score. Yep, this is going to be my 7 1/2. So we're going to score this at 3 3/4, right? That should be right. So let's do that. And then we've got our nice score line there that we will crease. That doesn't look even, does it? Maybe it is. Okay. So we're going to fold that in half and use our bone folder. And we are going to give that a good burnish. So let's make sure we do that. All right, so there's our base, all right? Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're using our Orchid Oasis, all right? And then this is, let me find my ruler because it's a lot easier. Here we go. All right, this piece is going to be cut down 1/4 inch, right? So from 3 3/4, this is going to be 3 1/2 this way, and then it's going to be 8 inches long. And we're going to add that right onto there. But before we do that, we're going to go ahead and decorate our white piece. And this, since this was 3, this should be 3 1/4 because we're going down 1/4 inch, right? So 3 1/4, and then this would be 7. What did we say? 7. Let's see. And that's going to be at 7 3/4, okay, because the last one was at 8 inches. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm not going to add this. We're going to wait and add that when we get ready to put our card together. So right now, we're going to just do our stamping. Now, I'm going to do this a little bit different. I'm going to put these closer together and more towards the bottom. So we're just going to change it up a little bit. So let's put, I'm going to change this and put more of the orchid. So let's get our stamp. And it's here somewhere. I just got to find it. All right, hang on a minute. Let me reach over. I have them on the other side of the desk. All right, we got them all right here. Now, there's a certain way that you have to line these stamps up. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Now what we're going to do, I'm going to start with the solid piece right here, okay? Then we're going to come in, and this is going to highlight all of the leaves that's needed and the inserts to the flowers, okay? So I'm going to ink up my Orchid Oasis, and I am going to stamp this right towards the bottom near the edge. All right, so we're going to stamp that one. And then I'm going to stamp another one. So I'm just going to eyeball because I'm going to do two. So I want this one to be, I'm going to do the opposite of this one. So I'm going to do that one there, and then let's ink this up, and I'm going to put one over here. And then maybe, I don't know if we can get more than 3 on here or not, but we'll see. We're just going to put these closer to the bottom. Okay, so we've got that. Now we're going to come back with our parakeet party. And give me a second because I forgot my scrubbing pad. Give me one moment. You think I'd be prepared, right? All right. Got to clean off our ink since we're changing colors. Okay, so let's clean this off because we're going to come back now. I don't know if we can get... and we're going to go ahead and do our sweet sorbet since we're using the same stamps. Let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to stamp our sweet sorbet. I was hoping I could get 4 flowers on here, but it would be rather tight. So I think we're just going to leave it like it is and just do the 3. Okay, so we'll do that. We could probably fill in those areas, but that's all right. Okay, now we're going to come back with our parakeet party, and we're going to bring in, let me clean this one off. Now we're going to come in with the one that has all of the pieces that's needed to fill in the flowers. And I'll show you how you have to line that up. Okay, so you see this part right here. That's what we're going to try to line up, okay? So it's going to take a minute. We're going to try to figure out which way it goes. And I'm pretty confident we're going to go not like that. So we're going to lay it down. Now I'm making a liar out of myself. Okay, I think it's going to go right about here. So this opening right here is what we want to look for. And if you hover, see these 3 flowers? See these 3 flowers there? You're going to hover that over. And then these 3 flowers are going to fit, and they're going to all fall into place. If you can see that, okay? So I'm going to hover over this. And I'm eyeballing it because I can't get my head in the camera. So just give me 1 second and get my eyes on top of my flowers. All right, so once I've got those lined up, and you might have to twist it just a tad to get everybody lined up. And I think that should be good. So we're going to go ahead and push down. I think it's off just a little bit, but that's all right. See how it comes in and fills in. Okay. All right, let's try that one more time. So if you keep your stamps the way they are, this opening here is going to come around right there. So we're going to take our 3 flowers and we're going to line those right up right there. And then all you want to do is just do a little twisty to get the top ones up, get the leaves where they need to go, and make sure you've got them hovered over your, like, I guess with the center of the flower. And we're going to push down, and hopefully that works. And you'll see how it's mimicking. It's going right around where all the flowers are. Now I missed that one off just a little bit, but you know, no one's going to notice that, right? So let's see if we can do this again. We're going to line up these flowers. We got one here. This one right here is going to go right there. So you just want to kind of hover. I hover for a minute. You got to do a little twisting to get everybody lined up. And then once it looks right, then we're just going to push down. And it's pretty. There you go. All right, and I think what I might do, and this is just, I've just decided this off the top of my head. Let's do, let's see what it looks like if we just do the tip. So it's not so empty down here. So why don't we let's take our, this is going to be the fun part, trying to figure out how to do it. All right, let's see if we can do, let's see, let me try something here. Let's go this way. Let's see, and I might be shooting myself in the foot here. If we just do a little bit right here, So how about if we just come in and just do a little bit of sweet sorbet right there. We'll come back. Now see, I stamped over those flowers. That's probably not such a good idea. Yeah, well, no, those are there, and that was there. We just did a little crisscross. Nah, I don't think I like that. So we're going to do this again. We're going to flip it over. All right, never mind on that one. Here we go. We're going to flip it over. That's what I get for trying something that I did not try. So, all right, let me get my 3 flowers. I'm going to push this one down. We're going to do it again. All right, we got that one. Now let's clean that off. See, I should never do stuff without trying first, but it can't hurt. All we got to do is flip the paper over, right? Okay, so we're going to get that cleaned off. Let's close this up, and we're going to bring in our Orchid Oasis, and we'll just do 2 more of these. I need to learn how to put these in here where I can get them closer. All right, so let's do this one like that. And we'll do 1 more on this side. It just has so much, I'm going to turn this one because that one's a little bit off. All right, so we got that, and of course now he's too high at the bottom, but we're going to have to go with that one. I really wanted it to be lower at the bottom like I had those, but that's okay. No big deal. All right, so let's close this one up. We're going to pull in our parakeet again, and we're going to do, whoopsie, we're going to go ahead and do our green. So now we got to make sure we line everything up again. Hang on a minute, my cord's getting in the way. All right, so we're going to line everything up. Let me make sure I'm in the camera still. So we're going to take our 3 flowers. Let me find them. I have them right here. So we're going to start lining them up. All right, so there's my flower. There's my flower. I'm trying to line all of these up right here. And I'm just going to use my finger to try to hold it in place while I look, because I'm going to have to turn it a little bit more for the top. And okay, I think that looks good. Look at that, perfect. So it just takes, you just got to take your time, hover. So we're going to be hovering, and you want to make sure the 3 are lined up first. And then you want to look at, okay, so I got 3, so I got to turn it just a little bit for, because this one I turned a little bit more, right? So I'm going to turn the cardstock, it's a little bit easier. All right, so I got these 3 flowers, and then I've got the 2 at the top over there lined up, and I think we're good. So we're going to put this one's off, I can tell, just a little bit. That one's off just a little bit, but that's okay. No one's going to know. Now this one we're going to have to turn the cardstock again, right, because I twisted the card. So we've got our 3 right here, and these are the 3. Hang on, so we twisted it. Let me look and see. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Hang on, let me look and see. 1, 2. It's got to go this way. All right, so we're going to line up our 3 flowers. No, that's not working. Hang on. See, this one I turned the paper, so let's see how we're going to do this. All right, where's my flower? We got 1 there, 1 there. Nope. Hold on a minute. This guy has to go here. Okay, here we go. This one's going to go here, and this one's going to go right there. Okay. Am I in the camera? Yep. All right, so let's try this. We're going to line these up, hover over, stop shaking my hands, and hopefully we got that right. Whoops. Ooh, almost dropped it. All right, try that again. Line it up. Hold your breath. And get this one down at the bottom. This one has to come up a little bit so you can see it. And let's take a chance. There we go. There we go. Perfect. All right, so that looks good. Okay, I wish I would have could fill this in some more. So let's see what we have in our stamp set. We do have some floral, but I don't know, because I'm using this on the other card, and I don't know what that would look like in the midst of this. So I'm just going to leave this the way it is. We're going to leave that the way it is. Now I'm going to change it up just a little bit because I don't have room for my sentiment since I've got them all spread out. But see, I could have moved this guy over, but that's okay. That is all right. So we're going to put our sentiment down here. So let me go ahead and let me clean these real quick. Get these cleaned up and get them out of the way. So give me 1 second. Now let me bring in my sentiment, and we're going to do that in, I think I'm going to pull in the color of, since I've got the 2 of these, I'm going to pull in the sweet sorbet, and we're going to stamp that. I'm going to stamp it down towards the bottom because I think I've got room. Let's see if we do. Do we have room to put it here? Let's see. Shall we try that? I'm going to push it all the way over and hope I don't overlap any of the flowers. So we're going to put that right about there. I think that looks good. All right, so I think we're done with that. Now the next thing we're going to do before we add this to our cardstock is we are going to, bear with me a minute, I'm going to move these colors out of the way. Got to get myself organized here, hang on. We're going to take our Orchid Oasis and we're going to add some of the Parakeet Party woven ribbon, metallic ribbon, and we're going to wrap this. I think I'm just going to wrap it around the white and then we'll attach that to our base. So we're going to go ahead and tie a bow. So I'm going to wrap this 4 times. So I've got once on the back, that's 2. So I'm going to go 2, that's 2, put my fingers there, come back, and that's going to be about 4 right there. Let me get my snips and cut these things right here. So we'll just cut that. Might be a little bit too much, but that's okay. So we're going to tie, now since we have this down here, I'm going to try to get my bow on the left side. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie it and then I'll shift it. Because right now I can pretty much do what I want because it's not glued down yet. And we want to make sure our ribbon is laying flat, so we don't want it twisted. So that's fine. And we'll move that up just a little bit, but we'll slide it. So once we get it on here, then we can go ahead and slide. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. Now, if you're not sure, one of the things that you can do is you can always tie a knot if you want it to stay tight. Or you can pull in your tweezers or something, if you want to hold it together. I'm just going to try to hold it with my fingers. Now the bow's probably going to be a little bit bigger than I prefer, but we'll tighten it down. And then what I will do, if it's too loose, is we're just going to tighten it up on the back when we get ready to glue it down. So we'll use our adhesive. And I do have a lot of excess ribbon here, so I kind of went overboard on that, didn't I? I can't see with the trying to see where my piece goes. Hang on a minute. I'm trying to see, and I've got my cord in the way for my microphone, and it's distracting me. All right, let's get this thing out of the way. Hang on a minute. You know me, I'm all thumbs when it comes to tying these bows. Don't ask me why. And you would think with this thin ribbon, it would be much easier, right? And I've got to get my nails done. That's part of the problem because they're too daggone long. I don't like them like this. They've grown out, and I need to get them done. So, making excuses, right? There we go. All right, so let me get hold of him. Oops, come on. There we go. Now we got it. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I did use a lot, didn't I? Okay, so we're going to put him... I'm going to try to get this. It is loose, but that's all right. I'm going to leave it about like that. Pull my bows down just a little bit. It's a big card, so I think we can have a bigger bow. We'll trim that a little bit. Okay. All right, now we're going to add this to our orchid. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place a strip of seal, and I'm just going to bring the ribbon right up here and tack it down. So that way it holds it in place, okay? So now we can go ahead and add our adhesive, and we'll just do that so we can get it attached. And we'll get some here, and we'll bring it around this way. And we got it on, we get the sides. All right, we got that side. Okay, so we're gonna put that on our orchid base. And it's going to go right about like that. I think that's straight. Okay. So far, so good. And then we'll add that to our card front. So I'll go ahead and use my seal since I started using it. We'll go ahead and finish it up with seal instead of the Tombow. I don't know about y'all, but I'll tell you what, this seal Some days it just plucks my last nerve. See, it doesn't want to cooperate. You've got to get it started and then it will work. Okay. All right, so let's get this on here. And we're going to place that. And this is where you got to be careful when you're using your seal, because once it goes down, it's not coming up. All right, so we've got that down there. All right, so there's our card. Now, we have our inside piece that we can stamp our, put our sentiment. So we're going to go ahead and lay that in here. Now, we can stamp a few of the flowers. I think I'm just going to leave it blank, to be honest with you. So I'm just going to leave it like that. All right. So there's the difference between the one that I made. I like it better when it has the backing. What do you think about that? All right. So that's our first card. Very easy Slimline card. And we do have the envelopes that you can purchase through my online store that will fit these Slimline cards. All right. Now let's move into our next card. Now I've got a couple of I made. Let me bring my ink, my scrubbing pad in so I can clean these off. Now, the next card, I've done several. So let me show you one I did, and then I'll show you the difference of what we're going to do. Okay, so this one is what I did using Cajun Craze, and I'll show you the second one when we get done as well. I'm using Cajun Craze and white, Whisper White, and then this, Basic White, Cajun Craze, Pear Pizzazz, and then we're gonna, these are Pear Pizzazz and Evening Evergreen. So I am going to change that up just a bit, and we're going to work with, let me make sure I got the right piece here. Yep, we're going to work with So Succulent. So this is 8.5 by 5.5. We're going to go ahead and fold it in half and get it creased to give us our score line. All right, so we've got that. And then we're going to add a piece of Calypso Coral. So I'm going to just change that color up just a little bit. This is 4 by 5.25. Now we're not going to add this yet because you can, but I like to add my white on here when I'm doing my thing, and then we're going to flip it over and then add it together. So this is the one that we're going to work on. So we're going to come in and we're going to stamp with Calypso Coral. I had to stop and think what I was doing here. All right, so we're going to stamp with Calypso Coral, and then we're going to use the Evening Evergreen and the So Succulent, and we'll see what this looks like. Okay, so we're going to take our big bottle, and we're going to do those in the Calypso Coral. And I'm just eyeballing, so we're just going to place that there. Whoops. All right, and then we're going to come back and we're going to do another one right about here. Okay, now that one came out much better, didn't it? Probably because I pushed harder. All right, now before we go any further, we are now going to take, let me leave that on there. This is the bottle. See how that's got the bottle bottom? So this is going to give us the look of the bottle itself. So we're going to ink that up in the same color. And then you're going to line up the sides and line up the top on that right there. It's going to come down here and right towards the bottom. So once you line up the top, get your left side lined up. Make sure it's even. And I'm going to hopefully pray that I got it right. Yep, got it off. So we're going to do that again. Let's see if maybe we do this first. Let's see if maybe it makes sense to do it that way. Let's try that. Let's put our bottle on there first, and then we'll add our stamp. And if this doesn't work, then we'll just we'll get the another piece of paper out. So let's try it this way. All right, so now we're going to come in and we're going to stamp. Let's see if this works. Oh, that's better because we can actually line that up. See how you can see the bottle in there? So it's coming right on the inside of the bottle. So let's push that down. Let's see what that looks like. That's a little bit better. Could have been better down here. All right, so let's try this one. And we'll see. I'm going to line up the bottom first before I do anything else. So I think I'm going to go do it like that. I pushed the bottom down first. Let's see. Yeah, that looks much better. So I put the bottom, I got the bottom lined up and pushed that down, and I think that helped. But I'm going to leave those the way it is. I don't think anybody's going to notice the difference with that. All right, that's just the way we are. Okay, so let me clean these off. Whoops, shaking my table. Let me clean these off. All right, now we're going to come back, and of course my bottles are not quite even. One's up a little bit higher than the other, but I think we'll fix that one. I think we're going to come in with, we're going to do, oh, and I need a scrap piece of Basic White. Let me grab that. And we are going to stamp, and we're going to do this. Now that one I did in Pear Pizzazz. We're going to do this one in Succulent. So we're going to stamp this bottle. We're going to stamp it on here. Now we're going to fussy cut this out because we don't have a, we don't have a die for that, okay? Now, I think what I might do is let's put it on, I'm going to stamp it over here, and we're going to pop one up on Dimensionals over top of this. All right, so we're going to stamp that there. Okay, now we're going to leave this ink out because we're going to use that in just a minute. So let's go ahead and cut out our jug, and we're going to place this on Dimensionals and pop this up over that. So that should give it like a little bit of a shadow. And this is pretty easy because you're just going around the one areas, right? It's not like we've got a whole bunch of cutting we've got to do. So this is pretty easy to fussy cut. And then we'll just come straight down. All right, good enough. Okay, so let's get our Dimensionals, and I'm going to reach for them. So we're going to take this and we're going to put some Dimensionals on the back, and we're going to pop it up over that, so it should give us a little bit of, and I'm just going to put 2 Dimensionals on here. Now I also added some linen thread, and I'm just going to cut a piece off and wrap that around the jug and tie a bow. And I've got too big of a piece right here, but I'd rather have too much than not enough. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull it through and then get this around the jug mouth of it, and then go ahead and pull it down and tighten it. And that's, I find that's easier to get that on there. I lied. Let's try that again. Now I could do a bow and just do a glue dot, but I wanted to make another little bow. All right, so let's go ahead and do that and see if we can get this done. I always make things harder for myself. I'm not quite sure why I do that, but it's okay. But we could have just stuck a glue dot on there, but I don't want to do that and have it fall off. This is where I always struggle because my fingernails get in the way and I can't find the piece that I need to pull through. And that's what causes the problems. Hang on a minute. Do y'all struggle like this, or is it just me? I should use my bow maker, if I was smart, right? That's why I have it. But for whatever reason, I don't. So give me 1 minute. If this doesn't work, then we're going to tie a bow and add it with a glue dot. But I think I might have it. If I can get my piece of twine. There we go. Ha! Got that one. All right. He's way too big, so let's hold that down. We'll adjust him in just a minute. Well, I don't want to overpower my jug. Let's pull this one a little bit more and twist this one so it doesn't look so funky. All right, let's get him over there. Okay, I think we're good. What do you think? All right, let's cut these little tails off, and we'll make them a little bit shorter. Okay, so there's that. Now let's put this one on. You know what? Before we do that, let's do the top. We're going to put those twigs. All right, so let's do our twigs. I'm going to turn it this way first. All right, so let's start. We're going to do. Let's go with our succulent since I have that open. Okay, we're going to do succulent, and then we're going to come back and do evening evergreen. All right, so we're going to just come down. You know what? I'm going to do it this way. It's easier to see it. All right, so I'm just going to start stamping my twigs, and I'm going to turn them a little bit because they are leaning to the right. So I'm going to turn a little bit. I'm going to leave some room in between so that I can get the other color in there. And then I'm going to make some taller shorter than the other. And then we'll come back and fill in with the evergreen. And we'll do some here, and then we want to do one like up here so we can come off the corner. All right, so let's clean that, and then we're going to come back with evergreen, evening evergreen, and we'll fill that in. Now we could have done the Calypso coral, but we're going to do the evergreen. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, so we're going to ink that up, and then I'm just going to come in and stamp a little. Come in and do a little bit taller. I don't want to do that tall. All right, get some color in there because it doesn't look like there's much, does it? There we go. There we go. Now we're getting some color. We'll put him up a little bit taller. Look at that. If I don't ink it all the way, it's coming in looking like, let's see. Where's my ink? Aha! My pad is dry on one side. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to come back. All right, so I'm going to come back over here, and I'm just going to put a little bit right there to make it darker. And hopefully this doesn't look too funny. And I'd like to do this one if I can let me see if I can copy. I might be able to do this one. There we go. It's a little, that's all right. It's fine. All right, so there we go. We have that. Now that one, obviously I need to re-ink my pad because that one side was dark and the other side looked like it was soft, so succulent. Okay, now we need to do our sentiment on this one, and let's see what we want to do. Let's do something different. How about sending a little message? Let's do that one. And that we will do, I think we'll do it in the evergreen. So let's take this off of our block. And we've got a little bit of a space. So let's see. I think it's going to fit right there. So let's do that. We'll do it in evergreen. Could do it in coral, but let's do it evergreen. You know, we probably could have put some of the stuff right there on the sides. Let me make sure I get the evergreen. Let me get it dark enough. All right, so we're going to place that right about here, sending a little message. There we go. Now that's cute. What do you think about that? It's something different. All right, so there's that. Let's clean this up. Now we can add our jug, our smaller jug, to the pile. Move my stuff out of the way. And we're going to pop him right here. So it's going to give it the effect that it's got a shadow underneath of it. Put that there. All right, and now we're ready to add this to our card base. So we'll go ahead and flip this over. And we'll use our multi-purpose glue on this one. So what do you think? Isn't this a cute set? I'm sure y'all have seen people already using these sets. These are just really pretty. And I'll show you one of the other cards I did. It's similar to this one, but I did it in a different color. So I'll show you that one too. All right, so that's that. And then, you know, we could pop this up on dimensionals, but we'll go ahead and leave this flat. And again, this is Calypso Coral. Whoopsie. Where's my craft mat when I need him? This is Calypso Coral and So Soft Succulent. All right. And let me put this right here because it's got glue on it. And then we'll put our card on here and get that so it's even. All right, now that's the front of our card. Now we have the inside. So what we'll do is we're going to take that little leafy thing and we'll go ahead and stamp a couple on the inside. So we're going to use our Evening Evergreen. Let me clean this off a little bit. And why don't we do an Evening Evergreen, and how about a little bit of Calypso Coral? Let's get that out of the way. We'll do an Evening Evergreen. We'll do 2 of those. And then we'll come in and clean this. I think it's time to wash my ink, my ink cleaner, my ink pad things. Do you all, how often do you clean yours? I clean mine almost every week. All right, so let's do that, and let's put a little bit of, we'll put a Calypso Coral right in the middle of those 2. Right there. We'll go up a little bit higher. There we go. That kind of pulls the colors in. All right, so let's add that to the inside of our card. And we'll put our adhesive. Whoops, man, I am going off the card. Look at that. You think I've been drinking or something, huh? All right, let's move that. Get that guy over there. And of course, I'm not using my craft mat. That's why you should use your craft mat so you don't get glue all over your paper, right? Okay, so we're going to move this guy over here now. All right, so let's go ahead and add this on here. And we've got that on. And there you go. What do you think about that? All right, so this is the one. I really like that one. Here's the other one I did. And let me bring in the other one. And this one I did in pear pizzazz with the jug, just not being popped up. So we've got pear pizzazz here, soft succulent here, and then Cajun craze right here. I really like this one. This one looks really good with Calypso coral. All right, so that is the bottled happiness. So thank you again for watching me this Tuesday. I greatly appreciate it. If you don't mind, and if you've enjoyed this video, would you please share it with your friends and family, and maybe those people that you don't know? That would be awesome. The more, the merrier. So thank you so much again for stopping by on Tuesday evening and taking time out of your week to spend time watching me and my craziness. So thank you so much. Have a great weekend, or a great week, and then a great weekend, and I will see you all next Tuesday. Bye now.